What's up? This is Robert Smetana with another short science video to help you better understand and treat acne. So in the last video we tried to answer the question whether different racial groups have different risks for developing acne. And we saw that on average countries with predominantly black or Asian populations showed much lower rates of acne than countries with predominantly white populations, which might suggest that whites get acne more easily than blacks and Asians. But strangely enough, when looking at the United States, blacks living within the US had more acne than whites. So how does this fit together? Let's look at a study from West Africa more closely. In Nigeria, the overall rate of acne is much lower than in the United States. However, researchers discovered that overweight and obese Nigerian teenagers had acne rates of about the same as teenagers in the United States, whereas underweight teenagers had almost only half as much acne. So apparently your risk for acne increases with increasing overweight. Now the overall prevalence of obesity in adolescents in the United States is about 7 times higher than in Nigeria. So is it perhaps possible that Nigerians suffer less from acne because they are less overweight and not because of any physiological differences between races? But what about the differences between whites, blacks, and Hispanics within the same cities in the US? Isn't that a sign that blacks and Hispanics are really more prone to acne? No, actually the same underlying cause might be at play here as well. In the US, black and Hispanic children have a much higher rate of obesity than whites. It is likely then that the higher rates of acne are in fact primarily a result of higher rates of obesity and the lifestyle that leads to this, rather than physiological differences between races. This recent meta-analysis also speculates that the differences are rather due to lifestyle factors and not genetic factors. The reason why blacks and Hispanics are more obese than whites in the first place is still not fully understood, but different factors, including socioeconomic status, might play into that. Asians in the US, including East Asians and continental Indians, are less obese than other races. Thus, it is not surprising that both racial groups have rather low rates of acne in the US. However, East Asians had significantly more inflammatory acne than whites and Indians, as also shown in this study. The reason for this is still unknown. Part of the Asians in this study were actually recruited from Akita in Japan, and they showed even less acne, possibly due to a healthier diet in Japan than in the US, as the authors pointed out as well. The increasing rate of obesity over the last decades, which especially affects blacks, might also explain why acne and puberty starts increasingly early in children. This is most pronounced in black girls, and one reason for that is probably that fat tissue produces estrogen, a female sex hormone. Naturally, this hormone increases when a girl hits puberty, but the increased estrogen production in the fat tissue of overweight girls might jumpstart this process, leading to an early onset of puberty and, of course, acne. However, not just obesity itself might facilitate early onset of puberty, but also specific foods. Associations have been found for sugar-sweetened beverages, dairy, red meat, and artificially sweetened caffeinated drinks. The evidence is somewhat mixed here, and it still remains to be analyzed how far these associations are really causal. But it is striking that many of these same foods are also directly implicated in the promotion of acne itself, especially high glycemic carbohydrates, such as sugary drinks, as well as dairy and meat. Thus, we can conclude that for all acne patients, regardless of racial group, it is crucial to follow a healthy lifestyle and keep a healthy weight. All this is not to say that physiological differences between racial groups don't play any role in the formation of acne, but it appears that individual lifestyle, especially diet, has a much higher impact than those physiological differences between races. Little side note here, genetic differences between individuals of any race do of course influence acne very heavily. No matter which racial group you belong to, your genes can make you very prone to acne or protect you against it. So back to body weight and diet. Just being of a healthy weight, however, only seems to reduce your risk of acne by about 25% given the data from Nigeria. So you can still suffer from acne even if you have a healthy weight. Good news though, improving your diet appears to be able to immensely influence the severity of acne even if you have a healthy weight already, as we see in some indigenous populations that don't show a single case of acne. Therefore, I'd suggest everyone suffering from acne to dramatically improve their diet. You can find my dietary recommendations in this video. There is, however, one strong difference between acne in different racial groups independently of body weight, and that is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is a permanent darkening of the skin in the spot where a pimple was. This phenomenon especially affects Blacks and Hispanics, and in the next video I'll address that issue and how you can treat it. Also, here you can find my videos on how to best treat acne with concrete advice on what to eat, what skincare and what supplements are effective, as well as an explanation of common medications. If you want to learn more about all that or would like to support my work, you can also check out the link in the description below to find my book or get a personal counseling session. If you have any questions regarding acne or wishes for future videos, please post them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them all. Thank you so much for watching, stay positive, and remember you're not alone with this. See you next time.